Well, I have to be perfectly honest with you. I'm surprised that it actually took this long for Dream Theater to put out another live album with everything being locked down. A lot of other bands have put out live albums, and I know with Dream Theater's back catalog of things that they've got, locked in the closet, I thought they would have been putting out a lot more. But now we have the first one, so let's dive into it. Lost Not Forgotten Archives, Images and Words, live in Japan in 2017 by Dream Theater. That's one heck of a mouthful, but a lot of these live albums that we have out nowadays kind of gets that way. Dream Theater is one of the bands, as I mentioned before, that really do put out big albums like this. They had the whole official bootlegs that they used to put out quite often, where they would showcase another artist's album, like they did, I believe, Number of the Beast from Iron Maiden. They did Master of Puppets from Metallica. They did Live in Japan from Deep Purple, and Dark Side of the Moon from Pink Floyd. And those are the four that I know of. I know that they did a lot more than those, but those are like the big four ones. So I was surprised that they haven't really done anything else since then. But now we have this whole Lost Not Forgotten Archives, and apparently they have another one coming out soon that they're promoting with Forsaken live in London in 2011. Anyway, we're talking about the latest one, which is the entirety of Images and Words that they played in Japan in 2017. And it's fine. Yeah, I can understand why they put it out, because they can't tour, so they can't bring in that revenue that they usually do with touring. So they got to do something, because I know that they're in the studio right now recording another album, which I'm excited for. I thought Distance Over Time was a good album. But this isn't a good live album, if I'm being honest. As I mentioned, it's fine. If you're a fan of Dream Theater and Images and Words is your favorite album from them, you'll probably enjoy this one. And the renditions that they do of all these songs are pretty by the book, pretty by the letter. I will say, though, my initial thought after listening to this album a couple of times is that they've done better works performing these tracks live on all their other albums. So what they almost could have done is just taken all those live performances and put them all in sequence on an album instead. And it may have sounded a little bit better. It might have been a little bit choppy, but it still would have been better. I don't know. There's just a few things that I'm just like James LeBray's voice is sketchy at best. It's not his worst performance, but it's far and away from his best, and I mean, that's the first thing that people go to. And the other one that, of course, I have to say, take a shot whenever I do this, but Mike Mangini's playing is just not my thing. I'm going to say that every single time. Like, his big drum solo in Metropolis Part 1 just completely underwhelmed me. I was just like, this is boring. The man has skill. The man has technical prowess, but he's just a timekeeper. He doesn't really feel like a heart for Dream Theater that they desperately need. I do love Jordan's additions on here. He does a lot of additions on Surrounded and Take the Time that I particularly enjoy. I don't know, I still kind of enjoy a little bit of his prelude on Waiting for Sleep. I thought that was kind of nice and a little bit of a nice addition, but it is kind of hard when Kevin Moore's essence is so baked into a lot of that keyboard work that it is a little bit on the difficult side to bring something new to it, especially when, Take the Time was already so masterfully done on Chaos Around the World, or Chaos in Motion, the one that they did in 2007, 10 years prior to this. So, I don't know, overall, it's a fine work, and it was really interesting to listen to the entirety of Images and Words produced in a live setting. I actually enjoyed that aspect of it, but in terms of the individual songs, I don't know, Learning to Live, the final track, just kind of left me wanting more and not necessarily in a good way. Now, as I mentioned, if you're a fan of Dream Theater and Images and Words is like your be-all and end-all, like that was their best work and it's just been downhill from there, you're probably going to enjoy this album, but at the end of the day, the best I can do for this one is a stream, and honestly, I gotta say, you gotta skip it. You know, like, unless you want to support the band and you want to invest in it, then I recommend that you do so. You know, like, these guys are hurting because they can't tour, so they got to make money somehow. But yeah, at the end of the day, this one's just a skip for me. I won't be returning to this one. I actually thought that the album that they put out last year, where they covered an entire album, which was Distant Memories, which had the entirety of Scenes from a Memory, plus a few bonus tracks, I thought that was really, really good, and I really liked that essence, but yeah, it's just not my thing. But that's about it. That's what I've got for the mouthful of a live album that is Lost Not Forgotten Archives, Images and Words, live in Japan 2017. What did you guys think of this album? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Whatever you thought, please let me know by commenting down below. And if you like what you see and you want to help support me, consider donating to my Patreon. I've left the link down below. Even $1 a month goes a long way. You get certain perks depending on how much you donate. And if you want to see more of this, I've got my 2 other YouTube channels. I've got my podcast of Quid Pro Quo. You can watch it on YouTube under that name, or you can find it wherever podcasts are found, as well as my role-playing game, Notes on Tabletop Role-Playing Games. There you go. That's all from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you guys are definitely the best. And until next time, Notes out.